So we survived the storm, the thunder. When was it? Last night, this morning, whenever it was. Needed it. Well received. So continuing with this Labrador here, where quite interesting actually. Some people sent me messages saying I didn't know there was a difference. I just thought a Labrador was a Labrador. I didn't know there was two different strains, a show strain and a working strain. It's exactly the same with most breeds really. Spaniels, English Springer Spaniels, Cocker Spaniels, Golden Retrievers, all that kind of stuff. You have a show strain which looks completely different, but more importantly has a different thought process, has a different mentality to what the working strain of that breed is. Anyway, I digress. So we are continuing with this Labrador doing a recall. All right, Cold, come. Good. Yes, good boy. And he's coming back to us now with enthusiasm. But sit. Wait. Because he is so food driven, and because he has learnt upon himself to dictate and use the use of food to manipulate his owners, we are using it slightly differently. Okay, I mentioned I think yesterday we're not going to use food to train him, but I've changed my mind. Yeah, I have, because we need to make progress. And with him, because of his belligerence and because he is fairly stubborn, we were losing time. We weren't achieving anything, and he was ignoring us, and we were pulling leads and checking, and we weren't getting a positive effect. We weren't making progress, which is what he's here to do. He's not going to be here forever. We need to achieve something, and then he goes home, everyone's happy. So, but we are not just using food in the normal way. What we're doing is we are removing all high value treats, because he has become accustomed to being snobby, being picky about what treats he has, and he theoretically will only respond to something that is very, very high value. All right, so when I say we're not going to use food, we're not going to use treats. What we are going to use is his allocated food for that day or today, into a cup, into a pouch, into a coat pocket. Get away with a food bowl and use his allocated dry food for the day to train him, to get rid of this stubbornness and this belligerence and this I want to do what I want type mentality. But as I said, we're not just going to put food down his neck. He's got to earn it. He's got to, deserve it. He's got to do something extra for us to pay him with that little bit of food. So in this case, we're working on his recall, because he would only want to come back or decide to come back if there was a high value reward at the end of it. So that was his incentive. So we're changing the thought process of, yes, come back, you're going to get something, but all you're going to get is your allocated food for the day. So on a long line, exactly the same principle, and I've said it before, it's not a fishing rod. We're using it to check him, to remind him that we want to communicate with him. And that communication is, I want you to return to me. So we'll give him a little bit of line. Go on, mate, go on. Go and get distracted. Yeah, I know. I want you to go and get distracted. I know, I've been telling you not to, but yeah, I want you to this time. Good. So we'll allow him just to wander off. Like so. Good boy. All right. But as down to a pinch of salt, he's not going to do it. Are you, mate? Good. So we'll try and set him up. Just walk him in front of these kennels here where there's some dogs, just so we can show a little bit of interest in something else. But again, this is the whole ethos about recall. I'm actively trying to get away from him, and he wants to follow me. So we're half the way there really, because we've got a little bit of engagement, which is good. But I want him to ignore me, and I want him to recall effectively, which he isn't at this time. Here we go. Right, Cold, come. Good. So when you come, no check needed. No need to tweak the line, but instead of coming back, I want you to sit, and I want you to wait. So we're adding 2 extra commands into the fact of, yes, you'll get paid, but you've got to work for it. You've got to earn it. So 4 things are going on here. We're recalling effectively. He's coming back with enthusiasm. We've got the long line to help us if he ignores us, but he's sitting on command. He's waiting on command. But while he's waiting, we are controlling his engagement. We are controlling his interest in us. We're controlling his focus in us, which are all the good things which will help us at the end of the day. If he gets distracted and looks away, sit, wait. We command it back. We insist that we get it back. Good boy. And then he gets rewarded. So in his case, because he is so food snobby and has learnt to only come back for caviar or whatever you want to call it, the high value stuff, he's got to do more. He's got to work harder. He's got to do more things to become rewarded for. Good lad. So we'll let him get distracted. That's a good one. Cole, come. Good. Yes, good. Lovely dog. Good boy. Sit, wait, and look. Once he's done these three things, bosh, then he gets rewarded. Have to tailor your training method. You have to tailor the way you work with each individual dog, and sometimes change your approach. Figure it out. Think about what's working, think about what isn't working, and don't be afraid to change your tack to get the right result at the end of the day. Good boy.